The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid-Carolina Service Company.
Mid-Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today. This episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast is proudly sponsored by Your Dollar Store. Located at 3017 Farrell Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Owned by Brian Thomas, Your Dollar Store has been serving the community since June 2021 with a mission to provide fresh produce and essential household items to neighborhoods in need, serving areas like Booker, Washington Heights, and other nearby locations affected by grocery store closures. Your Dollar Store is a convenient one-stop shop for those seeking healthier food options and affordable essentials. Support a local business that's dedicated to giving back. Your Dollar Store, where you can shop, chat, and leave with a smile.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with the talented Jamie Ariel, a photographer, filmmaker, and storyteller. Jamie is an inspiring film director and producer with a passion for storytelling that amplifies Black voices. Okay. With a background in mass communication and hands-on experience in photography and production, she brings a dynamic vision to every project. She is a true creative that has always been fascinated by the world, especially through the lens of a camera. Girl, me too. Mm-hmm. She finds beauty in minimalism, but captures the intricate details that make every scene unique. But being behind the scenes is her comfort zone, allowing her creativity to flow freely. Although she loves working as a lifestyle photographer, she is now pursuing a second career as a film production and live entertainment industry. Okay. Jamie's words and creative voices have evolved significantly over time. She is committed to creating, advocating, and building a community for beautiful Black women like herself to pursue their dreams. And she firmly believes that art has no boundaries. She is the founder of Black Creator, a nonprofit organization founded to supporting, uplifting, and inspiring Black creators and women in media. The vision of Black Creator is to create a powerhouse community of Black women who can share stories rooted in Black culture. Okay.
Thank you.
I love it. Yes. You're doing a lot. How are you
today?
How are you today?
Thank you for being here.
Great. It's the weekend, so I'm really great.
Okay, great.
Yes.
She said it's her first interview, so
it is.
We knocking off boxes for her. Checking.
Check.
Stop it.
I'm so serious.
It's an honor. I like being people's
yes.
first because it's like, people are like, oh, we're so nervous when we come. I'm like, just relax. We're regular people. We're chill. We just want to highlight everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Now, what I want to do, though, before we get too far into that, is let's get this mic pointing at your mouth.
Okay.
You want to make sure. You ready? You can slide it down some. Oh, you got it. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're doing. I ain't messing with you. All right, I just want to make sure we're picking up clearly.
Got you. Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
So, for our people who are not familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your childhood? What was it like growing up for you?
Okay, well, I am a native of North Carolina. I'm from Durham.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, Bull City all day.
Hey.
Born and raised. So I am the youngest of three.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I was that typical kid who loves like watching TV. I got a TV at a young age. I'm not going to lie to you. I was given a TV at a very young age. And I watched movies. I watched, Nickelodeon and, anything millennials watch, I watched it.
Yeah.
And I came to a point where I won't say I grew up by myself, but my sisters were older. So they were kind of gone from the house. We're 9 and 7 years apart. So once they went to school, it was
By
just literally
yourself,
me.
yeah.
So I entertained myself. I would reenact movies, memorize lines. Like I had a whole imagination, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like my mom would buy me like little microphones and I would sing in the room with a little boombox and just literally embrace all of the arts. Like I was, like I said, I was exposed to it at a very young age, and I was always an artistic child. The first one in the front at the school plays. Like,
Oh, wow.
I was always just that kind of
Theater.
kid. Yeah, that was me.
Aw.
So,
Ask
yeah.
the question. What's your sign?
I'm a
Yeah.
Pisces
Pisces.
all day.
Pisces.
I was born on Pi Day, y'all. Pi Day.
Oh, you
Friday.
really are
3.14.
born on
Yes,
Friday?
literally March 14th. Yes,
It's coming up.
it is.
Oh, wow. Now, what kind of schools did you go to as a youth?
So I would say my elementary school was a melting pot. So I was exposed to diversity very,
Because
very
when you
young.
said Durham, that's what I was
Exactly,
like, I know
yep.
it's popping.
So I was in melting pot in elementary school. Middle school was predominantly black. That's when I got a little more of my culture.
There you go.
And then I went to high school. Now I will say this. I wanted to go to Hillside with all of my other friends from middle school. Mom said no.
Oh.
So we all went to the same schools, elementary, middle, and high school. So they always knew who we were.
Oh.
And I was the last one, of course. So I always heard, oh, you have another one coming in? Yes. So my high school was a melting pot as well.
Okay.
So I didn't get fully cultured in the black community until college. I went to the North Carolina Central University.
Oh.
I did Double Eagle,
Go ahead, girl.
where I got
See?
where I got fully cultured into, my blackness. So it was really, really nice. Yeah.
Man, that's interesting. That's an interesting story.
Yes.
Because, I mean, that Durham area is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, like I said, it's really diverse. People don't realize that.
It really
Because, I mean,
is.
look what you got there. Now, one thing I will tell you this. I don't mess with no Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, I don't either.
See?
Yeah, I don't either.
See? Try to
Yeah,
tell y'all,
I'm
stop
not- I'm
rooting
not
for
a
them
Dookie.
Dookies.
Dookies, no.
Dookies, no.
Not at
All
all.
right. All right,
Not
go
at
ahead.
all.
My fault. I had to stop that. And no. All right, so who inspired you as a child?
Oh, it's so many because I was an actor when I was little. Like I said, I reenacted
know.
movies.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite movie to reenact was Karate Kid. I was that kid. Yeah,
You were good like that with it?
I would literally study movies and like reenact it in my shadow in the hallway. Like I was literally entertaining myself for real.
Wow.
I love Ninja Turtles. I would reenact that. Karate Kid. What else?
shoot.
Let's see. Are You Afraid of the Dark was my
Oh, I
favorite.
love Are You Afraid
All
of the
that
Dark.
was my favorite too. So I mean, literally, I would just take my imagination to go with it.
Yeah.
My mom thought something was wrong with me because I would like make up stories in my mind and I would use my dolls to act out the stories too. So like I was just that kid who always was hungry to be in that profession. Like,
You
Yeah.
have to release it.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's true.
I will say my parents didn't cultivate that part of me, which
Yeah.
is fine. They're
Yeah.
born in the 50s. Their mindset was go to school, get a job kind of
Boom,
thing. But
boom.
I had a ball growing up.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
You
So
sound like a true creative.
yeah, so
and
now
you
I'm ready to
you
blossom.
grew up in a media dominated age.
Yeah.
Like what did they expect? Like that was the birth of all this media
Yep.
stuff that we think about right now. So
Exactly.
it was gonna pop up. So being a creative, okay. And this is interesting because like we always talk to creatives, right?
Go ahead and give it to me.
But we have to put together these questions, and she does a masterful job putting together these
She
questions.
did.
Thanks.
To help us get more out of it than just the run of the mill answer, right? Because our podcast is based on millennials and us learning how to take care of ourselves as adults and make sure we're adulting properly. And anybody else who's interested in career advancement, learning about what people do out here, how they take care of their businesses, their health, wealth, or whatever it is, right? So you have certain challenges, of course, being a woman. Can you explain some of the hardships you face when starting out in this industry and how you've overcome them?
Well, first off, a lot of times when I apply for different things, they think I'm a man. because of my name. So I'm not sure why Jamie. So my birth name is Jamie Lewis. So when they see that, it's like, hi, Mr. Lewis. I'm like, no, I'm not my father. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not him. So a little more backstory.
Go ahead.
I have a big tech background as well. So I did mass comm in undergrad, and my graduate degree was in instructional design and ed tech. Okay. So I have like big tech background. So when I apply for things or, try to get, internships and workshops, it's like, hi, Mr. Lewis. Then I interview for them, and it's like, oh, well, we chose a different candidate. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, wow.
I've interviewed for a job 3 times in person and still didn't get the position. Now, I qualified on paper with no problem.
Ouch.
And then I went to the
university. It's clownish.
A scenario. I've never seen a situation like that happen. That's so crazy.
And I didn't realize that it was a problem. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm just going through the process. Yeah. Because again, that's how I was raised. You go through the process, they pick you, they don't, they don't. Keep it moving. But I was like, no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
It took a long time to me to say, hey, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
So I decided to build my own avenues, which, came from that particular situation. So I self-taught myself everything I know.
Wow. Really?
It was hard trying to network when I moved here.
Yeah.
So I moved here 10 years ago and started from scratch. Durham. I left Durham.
Okay.
I left Durham once I finished grad school. Got a job here, but I was still trying to get that creative, feeling out or whatnot. So I had to make my own avenues, literally. Like I would see stuff on social media, try to apply, trying to get into certain networks. It wasn't easy because I do feel like the culture here, to an extent, we're kind of.
This is from an outsider, y'all. I want to hear this. Yeah, this is what I was wondering.
It was a gatekeeping culture to me, outside looking in as a newbie in the area.
Right.
If you don't know this certain person, well, you have to like go through loops and bounds to
get there.
Which was, I didn't mind a challenge, but then again, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
You're like, make my own lane. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as I've been going through this process of changing careers or whatnot, it's like, okay, cool. I don't have a space for a second career millennial. There's not space for us, especially in the entertainment industry, starting from scratch. Because again, technology and media changes so much.
Boom.
And I've been out of school a lot of years. And I said, well, I want to create a space for people like me. But I haven't met any like me either.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, am I the only one? Or are they hiding or where they're at?
They're hiding.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's out there. And I got to the point where maybe I'm making these avenues because it's feeding what I want and not for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I said, it's not a lot of stuff out there for second career millennials who want to be in the film and media industry. It's not. Yep. So let's make a platform for it.
That's like what you're doing. I was looking at your website. I was so inspired. I was like, I can't wait to meet this girl. I've never even heard of her. I'm like, where has she been hiding?
Where has she been hiding?
Like,
you know where she been? They ain't been letting her in the spaces.
Right.
Nah, it's something that all creators talk about. Doesn't matter where you're at. Just so y'all realize, it's not about the specific place. It's just where you're at. Because we deal with the same thing in Columbia. And we know that there's politics on one side of the town as opposed to the other side of the town. And the people that go to those things don't go to things over here. And we don't know why they don't, because it's just it's a 10, 15-minute drive over there. But it happens. And especially as somebody who's coming in and you aren't foundationally from the place, it can be a bit more difficult to do. And when you talk about hurdles, just so that our audience can understand, because a lot of people don't know about what this stuff is and they're learning, can you explain them what type of hurdles you would see, if there's any like small examples you have?
Hurdles.
All right. At any moment, did you feel discouraged?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So again, starting from scratch, one woman show, trying to network, meet people who are credible. I'm very, 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 very business savvy. I like contracts.
Go ahead.
So, when people tell me, oh, I'm very interested in working with you, cool. Let me send you this document over here to sign. It's like, it's the follow through that gets me.
Yeah.
So, and I guess I'm a strong Pisces to where if you don't follow through, I'm on to the next. Like, I'm one and done.
I'm not going to keep following up.
I can't. Like, at my big age, I don't want to chase you to work. So, which has been a hurdle. So it has held up some of the progression I want, but I'm not going to give up. And knowing that what my end goal is, it keeps me from giving up. And I'm also, thinking about other areas. So now things are so remote now. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I can be somebody in California. I can be somebody in New York.
Right.
I can be somebody in Atlanta. Or I can just move. Like, you know what I mean?
Together.
So all together. Like, it's all the things. So I would say the biggest hurdle is sticking to your word. That does drive me crazy. It drives me crazy. It does.
That's what it gets
That's
you.
the biggest hurdle
it means
for me.
everything. You
It
are
really
your
does.
word. People, if that's the only thing they have to judge you off of, it better be A1.
Exactly. And I want to, again, at my big age, I want to have different responsibilities that I don't want to necessarily do.
Yeah.
And I can't do them all. I'm only one person. So
do you work by yourself or you have a team?
That's what's
well, right now it is just me.
Okay.
It is just me. So I have done projects in the past, but I take a step back because again, at my big age, I realized I can't do it all. So now my main focus, I will say, is the business aspect of it. I'm still waiting for my official 501c3 to come back.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for that
Okay.
with the Black creators. And then I do have a production company that's going to be something I'm working on next year.
Good.
All right.
I'm taking a step back. It's already registered. So everything is registered. It's just I'm working on one thing at a time.
Yes.
That's
as
what you have to do.
You
Yeah,
have
so
to.
waiting for that. And then I've been screenwriting. So that's been my biggest thing. Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
When'd you pick up the screenwriting?
I've always had stories. I've always written stuff.
Okay.
I just didn't know what avenue. So I will say this. I like to dabble in a lot of different genres to see where it's going to bite.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to dabble in a little bit of journalism. Okay, I learned how that works, how the gossip blogs work. Boom, I understand that language. Okay, so now I know I have stories to tell from my own life. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me start writing them down and converting them to screenplays. Cool. That keeps me going. Then I said, hey, I know I love production. I love putting the story together. Let me see what that's like. So I honestly worked with a nonprofit before, and we work with teen girls.
Okay.
For them to produce short films. And I was like, oh yes, this is what I like. This is in my 10-year span I've been here.
Okay.
So I will say that. So I've learned all the different genres on my own because again, it's just me and people aren't necessarily who follow through. So I literally teach myself these things.
There's nothing wrong with that. You growing at your own rate.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and by looking at your website, like everything looks so good. Like so.
And that was me. I learned how to do websites by myself. I've learned these things by myself.
Where you find time to learn all this?
Right.
Where you doing this at? So you have a hibernation time machine or something? Where you just press the button and freeze time, get work done, and go back in?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I literally just look at it to a standpoint of, okay, who's going to do it? Me. I'm just going to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I may go to YouTube University or I'll just play. I'm a player. I like to play with things.
Oh,
so
okay.
sometimes I don't let people,
tinker.
like, I may ask if if they're willing to give me information.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I literally play with different things. I'm going to learn Squarespace. I'm going to learn WordPress. I learn how to design. I learn how to, what's the, I forgot not the affiliate, but I can't think of the servers. I forgot what the proper name of it is called. Well, I can't think of it right now, but I learned how to basically transfer servers into WordPress. Like I taught myself all that stuff because again, yes, DNS servers. Yeah, I taught that myself because again, who's going to do it? Like literally, like who's going to do it?
But that's
You're
good.
tenacious.
So you got your foundation started. So if anybody else was to come on, you are able to teach it to them.
And that's my whole point of why I want to bring people on. It's like I want to give you my knowledge, and then I want you to have this position, what you're going to do in this company, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But the bite is not there.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Can't find consistent. Oh man,
bite
it
is not
sucks.
there.
You know, because where we're at, it's kind of like that. You know, some people are consistent or reliable, but then some people aren't. So I didn't expect you to say that for this city. You know, for Charlotte. So that's kind of.
Yeah.
It must be just everywhere.
That's why I said it's an everywhere issue.
Yeah.
You probably
Right.
got the same issue in Nashville. You probably got the same issue in Tuscaloosa. Like it's something about the creative space and being in it. When you work with people in the creative space, I know this to be true. It's something about like you kind of stop using your left brain, even though you still need that mofo.
So
You still
true.
need it.
I said all the time, put your left and the right brain together.
Say it. We rolling.
Because I feel like everybody can eat. Like I just don't understand the culture of it, and I try, always think outside the box with any people. I am a people person. I love meeting people. I don't mind sharing information, logic, anything. I'm not perfect, but hey, I learned on my own. I'm not going to charge you for what I know. I mean, I got it for free. Like, you know what I mean? So it's different. I'm like, we all here trying to do the same thing. And as a creative, budget is a big thing.
Budget
Everybody
is
don't
big.
have coins. Okay, hey, guess what? I went to YouTube for this. I played with this.
Yeah.
It's not like
trial and error.
It's not locked. The knowledge is not locked away.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not locked
It's
away.
not. And as a community, I'm
If
like,
you
come
could
on.
change, since you watch entertainment a lot, you watch TV, and
I do. I'm one of them.
if you could change one thing in the entertainment industry, what would it be?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It just came
Ooh.
off the top of my head.
Yep.
I'm freestyling.
Yeah, she's
I ain't mad at
freestyling
you.
right now.
I would say,
Like, what really grinds your gears?
What do you not
about
like
it?
seeing or hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a visual person.
Mm.
And it's a production thing for me. When I know it's a green screen, that drives me crazy. Like, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like when it's moving.
When you can see it,
When
the
you
edges.
can tell the edges,
The
or
edges.
I could tell the building is fake, and
Yeah.
we're standing in front of it, and I'm moving. It's like not blending in.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy. Sometimes certain things the writers would do, I'm like, what made you do that? We could put a spin on it. Oh, when shows don't align. When they don't align. So like if you got a spin-off show,
Yeah.
it's not seamless into the next one.
Okay.
That drives me crazy. It does. I will say that.
Because that is a production thing. Y'all didn't put
Yes.
enough detail.
So I got to tell myself now, it's like, look at shows not from a production lens, but from a spectator.
Yeah.
And then I do enjoy it more. I do enjoy it more. I will say that. But from a production lens, it's like, come on, it has to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like you are a specialist in this field, because like we were talking with somebody about this earlier, and she was talking about her over 20 years of experience. We looked at her and said, where'd that go from? How did that happen?
Black don't be cracking.
Yeah, it don't crack. And what she explained, which was smart, was, well, I've been studying this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was at this age, this is what I did. And so it moves from there all the way up, right? One of the things that I pointed out, that was being pointed out to me today, which you were talking about, like production value. We were watching somebody's music video, and we're at Asylum Digital Recording and Mixing here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Phone number 704-492-9289, 226 Westinghouse Boulevard. If you have some production that you'd like to have mixed down, or if you'd like to record something, please holler at my man, Scott Slagle. But the reason why I say that is because he was telling me today, we were watching this thing, he said, you know what grinds my gears? I said, what, Scott? He said, when people just don't do production right. And what he was looking at, he's like, it's the easiest thing. He said, look at this video, Onward. What's missing? And I was like, the pop filter, because the person was in front of a microphone. They were in the studio recording a video. I said, the pop filter. He said, yeah, that, but something more important. I said, what are you talking about? I'm looking. The cord from the mic wasn't even inserted into it. So they're recording.
Nothing.
There was no mic. And the person was,
ooh.
and I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. And that's when he was pointing, like what you're saying, that quality and what you're doing, taking care, ownership and what you're doing to put out a good product. At least make it look like the TV working. You can't just make it fake.
Somebody on set forgot.
Somebody forgot on set.
With all these people who are in those positions, I'm like, you have all these people. Nobody noticed it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's like, come on. But you're making millions of dollars. I'm not mad at you. Hey, I'm trying to get where you at. But it's like those little things like do matter. Like
If you could be on any set, what set would you be on? Movie theater, show, production crew, I guess, director.
Okay, so my favorite people in the world right now. I love Ava DuVernay.
Hey.
I love her.
Yes, girl. You need to watch her masterclass.
Yes. See, we'll talk about that. But I adore her.
Yes.
And I adore Issa Rae's story. Those are my girls. Lena Waithe, that's my girl too. Like, I would love to just be in the studio with them. And I'll also say, my guy, I do like Tyler Perry because he does give opportunity.
I was about to say,
but I would love to
he
be
does.
in his studio as well. Like, I'm trying to make a way. Tyler, hey.
Stage play?
Like,
Stage play?
Space,
Would you do a stage play?
I would try it. I'll try anything. I'm not trying anything. I'm
You remember
Go for
lines
it.
and lyrics, and
I do.
So stage
I
play.
do.
The reason why I say that is because right now I think it's having a re-emergent stage plays because local content, small content is being used. Like people like it, right? Stage plays. And you got the personality.
Yeah, I've never it's something that is on my bucket list. I will say that. I wouldn't
figured that,
mind
'cause
being on stage. I've never done it in my adult years.
Yeah.
I've done like little small music productions, stuff like that, but like I've never like fully done something like that. And I would like to see what it's like, because you know, like I said, my safe space is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I like to.
I
move
know.
and
She got
shake.
the eye. She got
Yeah.
the eye.
Yeah.
Her eye is trained. I can
Yeah.
already tell.
So I like to move and shake. So, but I wouldn't mind a line or two, you know, put a little acting book out there, you know,
Yeah,
just a
come
little
on,
bit.
come on. But I see what you're saying. That does make sense. That makes lots of sense.
What stories are you looking to tell with your film work?
Right now, I'm currently writing a series about me just being a Black woman from childhood to now. And then especially now with all the adversity we're about to go through, I would love.
Oh, I told you we ain't talking about Diddy today. I told you we is not talking about all those bottles of oil. All right, my
Right.
fault. Continue.
But no, I really think hearing stories from Black women, from millennial Black women, needs to be heard, because everybody's story is different. So I even know my own, like going through this process of trying to make, you know, transition to a new career.
Oh yeah.
Looking at, you know, how I am a big supporter of HBCU, how that's going to be changing financially. Like all that stuff is like hitting differently. And then just going to work every day. Hey, this might not be my job tomorrow. I don't know. It might not be my job next year. Okay, healthcare. Oh my gosh. I have no kids. I want a little nugget. I do.
Yep.
What may happen with that? So all that stuff, even mental health, like I want to tackle all those stories from different Black women's perspective, because you don't hear the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say you don't hear the truth. You don't hear those stories. That's really, really authentic.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to make it up. I want it to be like truly like, this is your story. Are you okay with me sharing this? Let's talk about it with a therapist. Like I want to literally share real stories in real time.
Got you.
So yeah.
And that's
That's
dope.
important, though.
That's very important.
Yeah.
If you don't tell your own story, they will, and they will leave out
It'll be-
important details
Exactly.
and accurate times, dates, locations.
Yes.
They'll put you in a ball machine when you never were there.
Cause I do.
Like,
I
it's
feel
crazy
like,
out
I'm sorry.
here. Go ahead.
But I do feel like a lot of stories that are told aren't always as authentic. Of course, they may bend it a little bit to make it stretch for the audience. I'm not trying to do that. I want it
Right.
to be
Raw,
truly authentic,
true,
raw,
yeah.
real stories.
You talking about
Hey,
real?
this really happened.
Real uncut?
Yeah, I mean, uncut. Yes, the story needs to be
She
uncut.
has quality.
Yeah.
She's a quality
Yeah,
woman.
Yes.
the
you
story
know?
needs to be uncut and not fabricated. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Not hard editing.
yeah, like I mean, you can have a TV series that still tells the same story, but it's
Question.
not fabricated.
Question: do you like Basketball Wives?
Or do you just despise the fake drama?
Okay, so I will say this: I like a little bit of drama.
I got my
I
little
love a
trash TV. I'm saying that 'cause I know I got mine.
I do.
Yep.
However, being that I do know it's scripted, it's kind of like, I want you to get mad right here, throw this at her. No.
That's not the type of real you talking
Nah,
about.
I
I want the
100%
audience
story.
to be understanding of that, so they know what you mean by that. Yeah,
I want them to
real,
feel
real.
this story that really happened to me, or through this character, but it's a real story. But it still could be a series. It's okay
Yeah,
for it to be authentic. It's okay.
awesome. I like hearing that. I want to ask this because I know.
You smiling a little
Yeah,
too much.
no, that's a good one. It's a good one. So, as a female creative, what strategies do you use to create strong characters? Now, I want to preface this by saying this. I know this is not in here, but I want to talk about this because I hear this all the time. They always want Black women to be strong, always. Like you all are some kind of oxen or a Buick muscle car. Y'all ain't. That's not what y'all is. Y'all people. So now, nah, for real, 'cause I hear this all the time. Like, this is not oxen. But so when they say like strong characters, what does that mean to you? A strong character?
Okay, so my younger self, strong character, I would say, you roll with the punches. You always get back up regardless. Doesn't matter. I don't want to say the word feelings don't matter, because that was told to me when I was younger.
Whoa.
Whoa. So, that's what I was taught, to keep it moving.
Yeah.
You can't react on feelings, because again, nothing gets done when you react on feelings. But I'm like, but hey, I'm a woman though. Like,
I have a lot of those things.
I have a lot, and I didn't realize I had them until I was in my 30s.
Right. They don't
I was
tell you
like,
about it. They don't
oh.
prepare you for this.
They don't?
They
No.
don't. No.
Y'all just wake up and boom, they here.
It's like
I care now.
Yeah, exactly.
I care.
Wow.
I cannot not care.
Yeah. Didn't know. So I won't say I don't like the strong Black women scenario, but it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And I wish that was taught to us as we were growing up. Now, I understand being African American growing up in this world is going to be rough. Of course, your parents going to teach you to be strong, be respectful, all that kind of stuff. However, what do I do with these feelings as I'm getting older?
Right.
Yeah.
How to maneuver.
And how to navigate them.
Yeah.
We're not. Well, I won't say we as a whole, but I wasn't prepared for any of that. So now, as I'm growing into having feelings and processing them, I have a great therapist. I ain't gonna lie to you, but she's making me understand why I'm feeling this way. Why am I reacting this way? Because we're really just human characters.
There it is.
We're human.
There it is.
We're human.
That is the word of today.
Human.
You know, human is flawed.
More human.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's really okay to say, okay, I'm not going to walk in this building, you know, being a perfectionist today. You know, I'm just going to let it flow. And that's okay. I had to learn that because I am a perfectionist. Like, everything has to be done right, organized, to the point. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, if I do it right and perfect, guess what? You're not going to bother me.
Ah.
Now, it's like, I'm human.
Yeah.
So if I don't get it done, guess what? It'll be there tomorrow.
Yep. You come
It's
by
okay.
me.
But that was a hard transition because I'm so used to things being perfect. Like, has to move like a clockwork. Like,
It's like you gotta reprogram your brain to like.
I gotta ask
relax.
you this. What your parents do for a living?
Okay, so my dad was a probation parole officer.
Holy no wonder. Click, 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 clang. I know why this. Yeah, you gotta do it right.
And I was daddy's baby, so I was the last one. I'm his baby
He
girl,
was
named after
tough.
him and everything.
Yeah.
And my mom was a nurse.
Oh,
So-
protocols and procedures.
Yeah. So by the time my sisters, you know, graduated and left, it was like
You got too much focus.
It was just me.
Yep, they were just looking at you.
Yeah.
If your sisters and stuff were there, it'd probably been a different situation.
But they
Yeah,
were like
weren't.
I said, they were gone.
Boop.
So
Dang. So how was? I don't know. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. How was that growing up with somebody who works in law, in that sense, in law enforcement and healthcare?
I was so young when my dad was in law enforcement, so I didn't really like pay attention. He was just dad. Like,
Wow. He never talked about it.
not really. He was just dad. So he was always there. I will say that my parents were always involved. They were always. What are you doing? You better do your homework.
See,
Go
that's what I'm
outside.
saying. They
Like,
were.
And that's why
Yeah.
you on your P's
P's
and
and
Q's
Q's.
now.
moms didn't play.
Yeah.
You better read this book before you go outside and play anything. I'm like, okay. But I had like neighborhood friends. I would
Yeah.
say, like, my sisters had each other because they were 2 years apart. And I grew up in an era where I had neighborhood people. So I was
Gotcha.
always outside. I wanted to play outside. Kickball, dodgeball, basketball, football. I played it all.
Yeah.
I mean, that was me.
Everything, yeah.
I was all the things was me.
Yeah.
All the things. I was the Tom girl.
Ah!
Look,
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, that's funny, right? That
I
is
need
so
that hoodie.
apropos.
Yeah,
That's
cute.
apropos.
But yeah, that was me. So, but again, I had to have good grades. You know, all that stuff was required. You know, I had to go to school. You know, they wanted me to work.
You had to go to school?
Oh yeah.
I like how she
we
said
all
that.
had to go
I
there.
had to go to school.
Yeah.
She didn't say I went to school. She said I had to go to
yeah.
school.
They wanted all of us to go to college. You know, all
Yep.
kind of things. My parents went to college, so it was like for them to
Oh,
be born
wow.
in the 50s
And go.
and go to college.
You definitely
we're
can
going
do
to
it.
college.
Well, that's why your work ethic is so high. Your standards are so high.
Yeah, I will say, you know, my dad was my little hero because hearing his stories growing up, he was born in 1953. Like he was hustling or working at a young age, you know, shining shoes, you know, going to the grocery store for people. Like he was always,
whatever he could do to get, because that was the era.
Hustling, yeah.
That was
and
the
there
era.
was 6 of them, and they all went to school. Like everybody went to school.
Wow.
And right.
What
Right, that's why I'm like,
what did their
wow.
parents do?
I
Where are they
honestly,
from?
when I guess. Because I was a baby. I didn't really talk to my grandmother. She's already,
yeah.
at an elderly age. So I didn't know what she did. I didn't know anything about her. Never met my grandfather, but I knew he worked. So, but yeah, all of them went to school.
Wow.
All of them.
That is amazing.
Mom, yeah.
In Durham?
Well, they're
Out of Durham?
from New York.
Preach. See, I'm about to say that explains a lot.
So they're from Brooklyn. They're from the Bed-Stuy area.
There you go.
I'm the only North Carolina baby.
I was about to say, now it makes sense.
They moved here when my middle sister was born.
Okay.
So
That explains so much of the story. Now I know why.
yes.
Oh, Lord. Them Brooklyn
He
gang.
like to connect the dots.
Yeah, I like to connect the dots.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a story. You're human, right? More human. But awesome. Do you have a...
Well, we
we
already
know
talked
that
about
one.
that, yeah.
You do it by yourself.
Yes.
For yourself.
For yourself.
For now, I'm looking.
For now,
I'm
yep.
looking.
Who are you looking for? What kind of help are you seeking or would love to collaborate with?
An assistant and an editor.
What do you mean by assistant? Make sure detail it for the
like an
audience.
Yes, administrative. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I could pass documents over, emails over, as necessary. As far as the editor, I love editing at one point in my life, but now I'm like,
Girl, me
ready
too.
to pass the torch.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Because it's like you got to sit still
for a long time.
And a long time and just keep playing it. And our minds are just, it's so many images and
Yes.
thoughts in our mind.
Yes.
It's hard to slow down and really focus on that video anymore. It's like, I'm past that video.
The video's just
Moving
like,
on.
It's done.
Yes.
Somebody can do it.
Exactly.
we let AI do it. It's an option.
You need real.
My fault. I'm just speaking for computers.
Yes, for editing purposes, I would definitely want a human. But I will say this: I do like AI. Again,
I'm saying you're a
because
writer.
if it's used properly,
Uh-huh.
it's a great tool. It makes your brain.
Isn't that
relax.
right, Tamaya?
Talk
So we'll
about
say
that.
that.
Yeah.
I was at a meeting the other day, and the lady was talking about alternative words that they won't get flagged by AI for black events.
Okay.
It's saying like international instead, like switching your words up instead. How do you feel about that?
I disagree with that.
Oh.
So still put our lingo into the generator.
Yes, I
Okay.
do. So I train it to speak like me. So for example, I may have a sample writing, and I may say, "Hey, make this sound a little bit more polished." And then I'm like, I don't like that word. You can change it. You know what I mean? I use it. I train AI to think like me.
Okay.
So when you start putting your writing in, start
Yeah.
putting like your content in there, it's like, okay, I'm training my brain to think like you, and then may change some of the words. Now, black's gonna be black. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's gonna
Yeah.
stay. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, they want
Like-
you to change the word black.
No,
Well, no,
like
I'm
just
saying-
say like if you're
yeah.
applying for something.
Oh, your
and
lingo.
you're trying to
Yeah,
stay
lingo.
under the radar because you don't want it to get flagged if you wouldn't get that funding. You see what I'm saying?
Lord,
So
I
you're
see.
using other words to substitute.
Your how you're speaking the dialect.
Yeah, what you're feeding the AI, or what you're, I guess you want the AI to spit back out to make it sound more polished.
And
Wow.
to apply.
And that part does to an extent bother me. Why do I have to change the words if I'm targeting this particular market? Like even
Yes.
when people say, what was it? I'm trying to remember how far back it was. I cannot remember who it was. Can't confirm or deny. But changing it to was it not bio? Not bio. What's the word? I can't think of it now. People of color. Like I understand it.
Oh,
But
I know what you
sometimes
mean.
it's okay to be just for black women or
Yeah.
black people. Like that shouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? And like, it bothers me that for funding purposes, we got to bend language to seek funding.
Yeah.
And it bothers me even more. 'Cause I can't confirm or deny this either. We have so many black people out here who are making these coins that
Are not
necessarily
going
investing
to our
into
community.
black communities.
Ouch! You hurt me with that
And
one. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
in the
bothers
ecosystem.
me. Yeah, and that bothers me. It's okay because Oprah was a big role model for me growing up.
Yeah.
I said I want a harpo when I get older. I
Yeah.
sure do. But I don't. But again, I will say this: I didn't do my research. I don't know who she's giving back to.
Yeah.
So why is it not flooding in the community
Yeah.
of those who are trying to get to where you are? I don't hear about that, or I don't see it, or
That's a
I may
good
see a
darn
document
point,
saying,
Susan.
"Oh, well, we're looking for people of color."
Well, you know, they support
I
like
get
these
it.
one or two organizations throughout the year, but I feel like they could be doing so much more on a global impact. You know what I'm saying? That's what my problem is with the
They can have
celebrities.
endowments,
Yeah.
like things that make the money to pay for stuff.
Especially when you're telling our black stories, right?
Yes.
Like you're telling our stories and our hardships and all kind of stuff, but where is the funding to bring it back full circle?
They are not watering the garden, but they are surely picking the plants.
Right. But at the same time, I don't know what adversity they're meeting up in those meetings either.
Right.
Like who are they up against? Like
Yeah.
who's at the table
Because
that makes those decisions?
Why you gotta
as
say
well?
that and scare me? Now I'm afraid.
No, like
let
you
me
know, how
write,
if
'cause
you
we don't
if
know.
you on
Them
a
people up
board
in-
or something, you can't cross certain lines to make a deal.
Right.
I mean, but like, you know what's sad is it's what you're talking about with like people within our community, right? There's no way for them to speak amongst each other like other communities. Rich people just speak amongst each other to decide that they're going to do something, like fun kids going to camp. It happens every day, all the time. They just get together and say, hey, we're going to do this for our community. So because interesting enough, we had an interview with a young lady. She's an educator, and she was telling us about the difference between two schools she worked in. As remember, she was telling us at one school she didn't have the type of input and energy from the students, right? That she had at this other school, and the students at the other one, they were doing okay, but they weren't as well off. These other children at this other school, they have this certain energy. They really care. The community cares. The parents come to the school to help the teachers do work. They'll come in on a Sunday. You ready?
Support.
Do you know the difference in the two communities? What do you think it is? I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say nothing to you. So why can't we get to? No one's telling them people's parents they can't come in. Why can't we talk to each other? Why do we gotta speak in the dark behind the corner with the door closed and the mute on? Because we're afraid that they're going to come and bite off our tiddlywinks. Like, what is going on here?
But that's trauma. That's
yes,
still
trauma. I heard this lady. She's my brother put her on because my dad puts us on these people to listen to, right? And there's this one lady. She's dope, and she's a black woman. She's from New York, Brooklyn, and her and her husband, they work and et cetera, but they do this media stuff. And one thing she was talking about is the fact that black people have to realize it's only been 61 years since we've been able to participate in political movements without fear of violent redress. Like, you would get redress, but violent redress. Like, where someone can just, I'm going to come murder you, and it's okay. So that means, like, we don't even know how to speak with each other internally about politics. Right. And how to and the politics in the sense of not like red or blue. I'm talking about how to organize to take care of your community. Yeah, like, hey guys, hey guys, our streets are dirty right here, and it causes us to have a clogging in our water. So when the runoff comes, it floods our yard. Can we figure out how to clean this? Or these kids need to be able to go somewhere and learn some economic enrichment so that they can start their own businesses early and get ahead and build credit before they turn 18. Because we're gonna go ahead and buy a credit card and put it in their name, and we're gonna make sure we keep it good. So by the time they're 18, they got 15 years of credit card history and great credit. And so now when they get out there and go to school, they can buy a car, they can get an apartment, they can start taking care of themselves in their head. We all be sitting with each other in rooms. We'd be scared.
And that sounds like a millennial person, because literally I think back to even when I was in college, the first thing I saw on campus was like, hey, do you want a credit card?
Yeah.
Application out immediately.
Immediately.
And I can speak to that so
She's gonna tell that story, why? That's gonna be a part of her story.
So it was at one point I wanted to talk about education and how funding is being processed, how this school may have this resources and this school may not. It's designed that way. To me, it's literally designed that way.
The system works,
and
as people say.
It is the responsibility of the educator to educate outside of what we're told to do.
Oh,
and
you really believe that?
I do. And I do believe kids would do anything if you build that relationship with them. Yeah. If you have that bond, they'll move mountains. It may not be the interest of their, current curriculum or current assignment, but hey, you can get that same, you could test that same standard based upon what those kids go through. Just listen to them talk.
Yeah.
So I do think we have to expose our kids to what's really going on in this world for them to understand how to navigate it. And I do think, like I was telling my mom, I said, Mom, you taught us to basically be very respectful, do not be aggressive, do not, basically be human to an extent.
Yeah.
When you're around adversity or whatnot. But I do think the millennial parents tell our kids now, say what you feel and it's okay.
Yeah.
However,
different.
We did forget how to tell them to be tactful. I will say that.
True, right?
Because they raw.
They raw.
They raw.
And it's
raw.
And it's raw to the point where, okay, hey, I don't want you to get arrested tomorrow. Okay?
Oh,
we gotta bring this back. Let's say the same thing a different way. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that I think millennial parenting expresses now. Don't hold your feelings back. Let them know what it is. Especially to a teacher, real quick. They'll tell immediately.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We were not talking to a teacher like that.
Whatever the teacher says, what happened.
As long as they don't touch you or say something to endanger you or your people. If it's nothing like that, they can say inaccurate facts. Now, you know better. Just don't listen to them.
But now they will say whatever they feel.
They'll stop them.
And you have to cultivate it. It's okay. That's how you feel. Well, tell me why you feel this way. Let's have a conversation. Let's break this down real quick. And they need that processing because, again, they're going off the dome real quick.
Yeah.
They're not processing why that is happening or why I said this. They just say
Blurt it out, yeah.
and then they'll get in trouble. Why are they really in trouble though?
When they really don't understand
Why they're saying what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or what's making them react that particular
Especially
way.
if they're right.
Exactly.
That's what hurts.
So do you think you could teach this
Yeah.
through video, storytelling, through production?
Yeah. I think that would be more of a documentary piece, in my opinion, and just talking to different students and how they experienced school growing up. Like I've had confessing, I'm an educator, but yeah, having a student give me feedback on how their experience was, them going through high school was rough for them. You know, just being silenced. And I'm like, silenced? Who silenced you in high school? No, ma'am, because you were one of my babies. Like, no.
Yeah.
So just, a lot of kids have so much to say, but we don't ask either.
Nobody's listening.
Nobody wants to listen or ask.
That's so crazy because, we do podcasting for the kids.
Yep.
And just hearing their stories, you be like, man, you never really get to hear them release and really just talk. Because when they go home, you can't talk around your parents a certain way. When you in school, you can't talk a certain way. Only way you can talk around your friends.
And
so we let them be with their friends and talk, and everything comes out. So it's like, y'all really are holding in a lot of trauma.
Because their parents are at work, they got to care for their siblings. You
Literally,
never know,
that's why they're
especially post-COVID, all that was a lot. You know what I mean? So they're human too. It's okay.
I know we got to get ready to wrap, but what I want to do, we need to speak about Black creator.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, like I said in the beginning, it started from the idea of creating a space for second career millennial Black women. That was the whole vision. I wanted a space for us to network, be able to create together and push out content. Then as I started doing some more research about different foundations, like I studied Lena Waithe's foundation. I studied Color Corrective. I was just looking at how they formulated their companies and whatnot, and even Ava DuVernay, Array. And I was like, well, maybe it's the biggest thing that's hindering a lot of our stories getting out is funding, right? So I said, I wonder somehow I'm able to apply for grants to help fund indie artists. So my trajectory has changed from, just being together, creating together, to, no, let's fund our stories as well as build a community. So that's kind of the vision now. And that's kind of where I am. Like I said, I'm waiting for my 501c3 to come back. So I can apply for some grants and fund some indie projects for Black women. Black women.
Yes.
Black women.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Gotta support
We can
that.
definitely help you with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta support you on that because that's something that we complain about.
Yeah.
It's real.
And I also think a lot of that stems from, I guess, I'm not going to say I've been silenced, but again, I wasn't taught to show feelings. I wasn't taught to talk about things in the past. If there's adversity, you look at it, shake it off, and keep it moving. But that stuff builds up.
Yes.
So as you get older, when you get my age, my big age, it builds up. You explode, and you have nothing to do with it. So I'm like, I'm putting it in on a screenplay.
Yeah.
As my release. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's so many other Black women out there. Like some of my immediate circle friends, I'm like, let's put it in a story because you got something to say, hon. Let's say it.
Yeah.
And to be real and authentic. I'm big on real and authentic. Like it has to be real.
Unapologetic.
Like if it's not real, I don't want any parts of it. Like
You're tired of this,
like,
this shuffling and
fake,
shuffling.
yeah.
You don't watch too many.
She watched.
yeah, I did.
I've seen it all. I know all the storylines.
Like I said, I still do study things. Like right now, I'm rewatching. I will admit, I'm rewatching Sisters in the Team, and I'm just like, just studying it as how would I want my show or entertainment to be from here?
Yeah.
Like I know he's telling Black stories, yes, but I want all of it to be real.
Yeah.
Like everything, like having 2 babies, pregnant, like 2 different problems.
Hey,
I mean,
but it's exciting.
Again, it's a attention grabber.
That's
I get it.
what it is. But it's not.
Real?
It's a real.
Yeah.
You have 4 beautiful Black women
Yeah.
talking about being sisters.
Yeah.
Where's the real part of it?
Okay, so wait, before we go to the next question,
I agree.
I'm sorry. What is a show or a Black show that you really admire?
Ooh, a different world.
A different world?
Yeah.
A different world.
You guys play the game.
A different world.
You need to play the Hillman game.
Our friend has made a board game out of it.
Oh, really?
We're gonna send you her
gonna send you her
website.
I would
information.
love that. So I will say a different world because I was excited to go to college from that show. And also, I love Spike Lee. Y'all, I want to meet Spike Lee really, really bad.
You gotta
Denzel
catch him.
Washington. School Days is my favorite movie of all time. I love School Days. Those are my two favorites. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to see Othello, but those tickets are like $800.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Said, ooh, this is
yeah.
why I love you. I really want to support you.
But no, he saw he bit his tongue, and he's having an issue like pronouncing the words and stuff. He's trying to hope that the swelling goes down before they start, because he does it every year. He does Shakespeare in the Park. But yeah, that kind of sucks.
That does suck.
But I hope he's able to get there this year, because it'll be dope.
Because I want to go so
See?
bad. He's one of my favorites too. I love it.
All right. So
what can we expect from you in the future, and what do you have coming up?
Ooh,
that
most
can
important
support?
part.
Future. Okay. So I am finishing my screenwriting of my series.
Mm-hmm.
That is finishing. I'm going to submit it to different film festivals. My goal in the fall. I'm actually let's see what else I got coming up. I did apply for my first film grant.
Ooh.
So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Anything else by end of the year? End of the year, I do want to cast my first production, but I will say, I'm going to admit, I am nervous.
Oh.
I am nervous. I am a little scared to cast sometimes. But yeah, cast my first production to where I can start filming next year.
Okay.
My first short. But I have so many screenplays I want to submit to film festivals. It's my biggest goal for this year.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. And of course, applying for grants, getting my 501c3 back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, where can everyone find you and stay in contact with you?
You can find me on Instagram at I am Jamie Ariel. I also follow Black creators on Instagram. And yeah, that's me.
What's your main platform that you
Yeah.
Oh,
use?
Instagram is my favorite right now.
Okay.
I like Instagram the most. I am on TikTok. I am on Facebook. But my biggest platforms I use a lot. I'm on a regular is Instagram.
Okay.
Hey, I'm going to send you an email right now with the link to the board game.
Ooh, yeah, somebody get that. Oh,
I'm sending it to your email address.
okay.
All right. So it'll be there so you can check it out. Now, I know you're going to like it. Because
I
if
know
you
I'm gonna
said
like
that,
Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna love the game.
you're going to love the game.
We've all
because
played.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
really detailed. Like,
And it's by a Black creator, so
Yay.
female, woman.
so
a
y'all
woman.
need to connect anyway.
Yep.
Definitely do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
We have so many people that you will probably be interested in talking to, so I'll probably DM you.
Thank you
Most of
so
their
much. I
stuff.
would love that. Yes,
And I'm always finding funding for something,
okay.
and I will definitely send it to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm ready to spread my wings and not be scared.
There
I'm
you go.
nervous. Yeah.
You got it, sis. I
Yes.
know you got it because you're impressive, man. You're very
Thank
impressive.
you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
No worries. Well, Hilltop Glove Podcast is DJ and what?
Tamaya.
And our esteemed guest.
Jamie Ariel.
We want to let you know that we appreciate you being here. They said this is your first. As Tamaya says, she always likes to break that seal.
Okay.
So we're going to get you rolling, and we hope that everything grows and becomes bigger from here. If something pops up, please let us know about it. If you want to come back on, please let us know about it. We'd love to have you back as a guest.
I would love that. Thank you so much again. I really do
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, till next time, tell somebody next to you, beside you, down the street, or somewhere around in the interworld that you love them and you appreciate them. Peace.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast.